Welcome, Maniacs,
to this week's Mayhem.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Jay.
And we're here to talk about things.
All of the things.
All of the things.
You've had a very exciting past couple weeks.
Epic proportions.
Of epic proportions, some would say. Do you want to talk to us about a little bit what you've done?
Oh, yeah.
You've been to like every park in Orlando.
Yes, I have. Well, except I haven't done Volcano Bay. But anyways, I have a friend who got me tickets to go to Epic Preview Park, Epic Universe. It was really cool.
Epic Universe?
Yes.
Yes, of the Universal Trilogy now.
Oh, that's true. I guess I would definitely go with that. That makes more sense.
American, at least.
It's very isolated, very by itself. All of the islands are...
Yeah, how was that?
That was weird. Getting over there was the weirdest part, because you're used to, like, any of them... When you think of theme parks, you think of theme park madness, where, like...
Yeah, everything's, like, right there.
And it's not. There's nothing around it.
Is it easy to get in and out of the park?
Yes and no.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, you have the normal parking areas, you have your normal, like, entrance thing.
Yeah.
But, like, getting to it, you could, like, go back ways. But I guess if you come off the highway, it would be a little harder to get to, but we went the back way, so that was nice.
Yeah, because he kind of knew what he was doing.
Yeah, pretty much. So that was pretty exciting. We got there early, got to walk in.
That's cool.
Celestial Park, amazing. Super cool. The carousel, the Stardust Racers, I looked like a troll doll that entire ride because my hair was just sticking straight up because you were upside down so much. Even
That's
like
crazy.
When we were sideways, the force of it was so aggressive. My hair was just like, bing.
Could you imagine like roller coaster stopping?
I would have probably been broken in half. If that roller coaster has, which I'm assuming has emergency stop, I would not want to be on that emergency stop. It would probably scar me from ever going on another roller coaster again.
Oh, I bet.
I am a huge roller coaster nut. I can do roller coasters back to back. Never been a thing that's been bad, but that one was so intense. Apparently, it was so fast they had to put stoppers on it to slow it down.
Oh, my
because
God.
The G-forces were so crazy.
Doesn't sound like it's gonna. That's not gonna be a fun one to have an incident with.
The funny thing is, the coolest part about that entire ride is at night, it looks like a comet.
Oh, I bet, because it lights up.
It lights up at night.
That's
so it
so
goes
cool.
so fast. It looks like a comet. So that's the entire concept, is like the Celestial Park is supposed to be like your like celestial. It sounds so stupid, but you're like stars and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's supposed
so
cosmic
that part
almost.
Was exactly. So that part was really cool. We went on the green side. That is the more intense side. Please know this, people, because I was one, afraid my hair was gonna wrap around the other car, and two,
yeah, because you guys are close.
It's basically Dueling Dragons on steroids.
Like, I'm surprised they actually put it that close. Like, Christopher would not be able to go on that ride.
I really, actually...
And raise his hand?
I looked, and they didn't have anywhere that there was a height limit, which there's a height limit on Rip Ride Rocket, so I'm surprised that
there's not on this one?
Exactly.
I mean, if he puts his arms out and someone is close enough, he could... Oh, my God.
But then again, I guess my hair was almost the same reach, and I didn't touch them, so...
Yeah.
You know, like in Trolls, when she, like, reaches for things with her hair? I felt like that in that moment.
Yeah.
I felt like Poppy.
That's fantastic.
Definitely really cool roaster. I think it's so much cooler than Velocicoaster. Velocicoaster is still really cool. It's also a lot safer to me. Even though even though I ate a bumblebee when I was on that last time, still safer than how I felt getting off of Stardust Racers. But super amazing. When you walk into the park, to your right, it's How to Train Your Dragon. So Isla Burke. Amazing. You have the hiccup ride where it's the roller coaster. You have the water ride where apparently you get soaked. Like, people are coming off that ride dripping. And I was
thank you.
I liked watching it. Was not going to go on it.
I'm good.
And then they have the actual, like, kite racers where the dragons are on the opposite side and it flips you. Apparently you can tumble or roll on that. I did not do that, but I did do it at night. So seeing everything lit up at night was so cool.
But that was pretty.
It was. We ate in Isla Burke too. They're going, I guess, for, like, healthier options. I had, like, quinoa and chicken and broccoli.
Which is weird to think of for, like, Isla Burke food.
Exactly. They have another 2 places to eat where everyone's talking about, like, that macaroni cone.
That's what I want to try.
And everyone said it was really good, but, like, apparently to get it, it was the longest wait of all the food things. So I was like,
And that's on preview, so that's not even, like, normal, like, GA at all.
What concerned me is in the Isla Burke where we did eat, or when we were looking at menus, I didn't see any kid options. I didn't see any kid options throughout the entire park except for Super, like, Nintendo World.
That's crazy.
So, like, I usually go for kid meals just because they're smaller.
Chicken tendies.
The chicken tendies, but they're also because they're smaller. So that's, like, a big thing.
Yeah.
And they all, like, so it was, like, every meal was probably between $16 to $24.
Oh, man.
Which is a really high range.
That's high, yeah.
I don't know.
Especially for the quality. Like, Disney gives you quality.
Yeah. And, like, I left, it wasn't the worst food I ever tried, but it wasn't my favorites, which my least favorite I'll get to. But, You leave from How to Train Your Dragon, like you walk into the portals in every park, and that's super cool. They always have a quote of all of them, and at the top it's like their actual like dial. So that's really cool because you see all of them together on the Chronos when you walk in.
Yeah.
When you move from that, Stardust Racers, it divides How to Train Your Dragon and Ministry of Magic. So the Paris front, you walk in there and you're in Paris. It's so cool.
Oh, that's cool.
When you walk in straight, you go straight to the How to Train Your Dragon also has a show, but it was always super full. And then you have the How to Train Your Dragon.
I want to see the dragon show.
You have the meet and
so
greet.
bad.
Well, you also have Ashton and the twins walk around, and you have the meet and greets.
Rough Nut and Tough Nut?
Yes, which are really funny. They're hysterical. And then you have Ashton walks around, and then you have Stormfly, who apparently can meet, and Toothless little kids. His little kids walk it. You can like go and see them. Everything about that was captivating. Seeing the dragons, the animatronics, all that. Isle of Berk is my favorite because I love How to Train Your Dragon.
That's crazy, yeah.
But it's just so cool because you walk in and you're like, I'm in a Viking world. Like it's
and
just,
that's where I would be excited. Yeah. I love
and it's the biggest
Viking.
one. It's the biggest
that's
area.
cool. So it's like their showstopper is, which is crazy because like I feel like Islands of Adventure really took on the Harry Potter, and that was an addition after too.
So now, and that's the thing is like How to Train Your Dragon is the new Harry Potter to me because it's just so like dry dropping. But the Paris front, when you walk in the Ministry of Magic, it has Elder Wand as the symbol.
That's cool.
Has like its quote and everything, and you walk in, and it's literally you're walking into Paris.
Wow.
They have like a little like sweet shop. They have some food dining options where like French food and some other options, but we didn't really stay there to eat or anything. We ended up getting on the virtual queue for Ministry of Magic.
Yeah.
Which had only fully been starting to ride consistently the day prior.
Ooh.
And they did a virtual queue for it, and it did not go well. It was 5 of us, 4 of us, I can count, and 2 of us got the virtual queue.
Yeah.
And they end up, but they were really good. So if like one of you got because it doesn't like how Disney, you can group your parties together. You can't do that with.
Oh, wow.
So like if you and I had our own accounts, we couldn't link them.
Oh,
at least
that's
not
crazy.
I could figure out at the time.
Yeah.
But they honored, so like I got the virtual queue, so my group could go with me.
Oh, that's
I was
cool.
like, I got a virtual queue, but they didn't. They're part of my party, and they're like, go on. So that was really nice.
Oh, that's really nice.
Before I get into that part, the Fantastic Beast has that tent thing that they do, the circus show.
Oh, yeah.
You see like the
animals and stuff.
That's the show in Ministry of Magic.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Everyone says that both shows that they have, the How to Train Your Dragon, the Ministry one, is insane.
I can't wait. I'm such a show goer.
I am too. So I was really sad because most of the rides were down 3/4 of the day. So
which
like
stinks.
everyone, of course, flocked to the shows.
Yeah.
So we couldn't really go on into those, but just seeing them was really cool. Or seeing like the design around that and all that.
Yeah.
And so Ministry of Magic, you walk into the Flu Network and then it opens up into the Ministry.
That's cool.
And it's insane. You know what really threw me off though were like the tile decorations.
Oh wow. Yeah.
They're really cool, but they were a lot.
I bet. I mean, I want to know how long it took.
As far as technology goes, that ride is absolutely insane. You're in the cart like you are in Tower of Terror. You're suspended by a seatbelt.
That's not enough.
Which I kind of wish was a little bit more.
That's not enough.
You get jerked around quite a bit on that ride, and it's so good, but I can't even describe it to you because it was so insane. But my bag ended up not where it should have been. I just put it on the ground. And it went, I don't think there was ever a chance of it coming out of the cart, but the fact that my bag moved around
someone could just take it with them.
It moves around so much was a little concerning. Given they haven't had as many test rides of the ride to be like, hey, keep this on you. But
and they normally have like places to put their bags.
Yeah, there wasn't on that one.
That's weird.
So that was definitely really interesting. Very cool, very everything. I am a huge Harry Potter nerd, but I feel like even if you don't know anything Harry Potter, you're still gonna be like,
still be good.
What just happened? I walked off that ride crying. But walking, just honestly, I didn't even need to ride the ride. Just walking through the walkthrough.
Yeah.
You go through Umbridge's office. You go into the Ministry. 100% awesome. In the middle of the entire park, you have the Helios Hotel.
Yeah.
Helios, which is insanely huge.
Oh, well, yeah. I can normally imagine the price of those.
Also insanely huge, most likely, but just having the view of the entire park where you can see into every island.
Yeah.
Or portal is insane.
Actually, I think I Googled it. So one night, it's like $500. It's a minimum of 2-night stay, too.
You get an express pass, which I guess can be kind of equivalent.
For standard room for 2 queen-size beds.
And you might even have a full view of the park, which I'd be very surprised.
For 2 guests.
That's insane. No. Definitely cool.
Don't know the passes. Yeah.
Don't know if I'd be staying there anytime soon. But
I wish, but no.
Jaw dropping.
Yeah. It's gonna take over like the Hard Rock did.
Yeah, pretty much. It's essentially this because it's a Lowe's hotel too, so it's the entire chain.
Oh wow, yeah.
If you look to your left, you look at Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Darkmoor, whatever. That place is really cool, especially if you're a huge like. I miss the monster stuff being in Universal. So I was really happy to like, see it. They moved over here. Same. They have the steakhouse, which is where we also ate.
Oh, how was that?
It wasn't bad. The decor and everything was really cool. At some points, like the lights flicker and all turns red, and you're kind of like, I can't see in this, but cool. Definitely helps add to the vibes. Yeah. They have like a graveyard when you walk into like the entire thing. I didn't
themed foods.
It was themed foods, but I didn't like it. I was like blood orange chicken, and like it had a black bun. The bun was honestly not the worst part, but
black bun. That would get me.
It was really weird. I was like in my teeth. I had a friend who got chicken wings. I don't know. I think it definitely wasn't terrible, but it wasn't what I was expecting at like the park.
Yeah.
It fit the theme, so that's definitely on point. But I liked the Burning Blade Tavern's food better, and it was just like finger foods.
Yeah. I'm a finger food person.
I liked that better than the actual sit-down meal.
What was the finger foods?
So it was a steak shaped, like a steak.
Oh, like a steak.
Yeah, shaped garlic bread.
Ah! Yes. With mozzarella?
Yeah.
Was it cheesy filled?
No, it was just a normal garlic like bread.
Was it garlic?
Pretzel thing. It was really good. I honestly genuinely it came like a garlic butter dipping thing. And then Jenna got these like we actually got these at Halloween Horror Nights when we went, but they were jalapeno poppers, but they were coal, like they were black coal.
Yeah.
So that also threw
That's cool.
But they were really good too. I think they had one more thing on there. I just don't remember what it was, but those are the two things we got. But they were both really good.
Oh, yeah.
So it was definitely a win there. We got to ride on the werewolf ride, but the Burning Blade Tavern catches on fire.
Oh.
So in the middle of the werewolf ride, we heard we heard fire, and we were genuinely concerned that something was on fire. And then we were like, in the distance, we're like, oh, like, no, it's supposed to be on fire.
Probably wouldn't have said that.
I was really worried about the werewolf ride because it automatically spins you. Like, your weight distribution makes it spin as you're riding the roller coaster.
Oh, boy.
I was really, because you want 4 people on that ride, you do not want 3. Because you have 3, you're going to go like this the entire time.
No, thank you.
And it goes both ways.
Oh.
And so it's just, it's basically a weight thing that makes you spin. It was really fun. It was very short, but it was very cool.
Yeah.
Not the best roller coaster, but it's also not the worst. It was just an interesting concept.
Little,
the spinning thing, I was just like, please don't make me die. I don't do good with like excessive. I was really afraid we were just going to do this the entire time, and we didn't. So 4 people, but the people behind us who only had 3, they were going the entire time. I was like,
thank you.
I'm very okay not being on that one. Even when we stopped, they were still spinning.
Hello.
I pretty much. So that one was really cool. Move from that, and you go to Super Nintendo World,
which would be
you literally go up an escalator into, and you hear the beep, 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 that sound. I'm really
the tube.
It's definitely not the sound, but you know the sound. And you walk in. The coolest one at night is Super Mario because it's so reflectively glowing that you feel like you're looking at the Nintendo screen or like at your like actual like anything you've played the Super Mario on. It's that.
Yeah.
In the back corner of it's the Donkey Kong. But you do go through another area to where it looks like you're walking into another part of it.
That's cool. Donkey Kong has a ride too, right?
Donkey Kong has the ride. It's the roller coaster that goes off track, and it's like on an arm, so that's what makes it have the illusion of
that's the crazy one. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So everyone's like, how do you not have a track on a roller coaster? It's like, because there's a stick.
And has an arm.
There's a stick. I was disappointed in the Super Mario ride, though. The walkthrough.
That's the VR one, right?
Yes. The walkthrough was so cool because you walk through Bowser's library, you go through his like dungeon and all those things. So that's really cool. But what's disappointing was the ride because it was cool because you had like little visor things. The concept of it all super awesome.
I feel that being on a whole bunch of people's heads.
That as well. Mine was still sanitized, so I like had a wet mark on my head. But there were so many characters that you were racing against.
Oh, was it screen all muddled?
It was hard to just because like I would go to hit Bowser's minion and the Toad's there, and he wasn't there a second ago.
And do you control it yourself, or is it like a
So it turns it on its own, but you are turning the thing when it tells you, so it'll turn when you turn. But you can't go like this and you go like that the entire time, which I'm happy because if I was on it with someone who just did that the entire time, I might strangle them with the cord.
So it's kind of like Star Wars.
The kind,
a little bit,
kind of
being able to control just like a little bit, but you're not really controlling it.
Yes, that aspect. That aspect. You do shoot at like the minions yourself, and you have like your own amount of coins and turtles that you get, and you collect them as you go. So if you look down, it shows you what your total is, and then so you're competing against all 4 people in your card. So that's cool. How you like do the competition thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't know where to look, and then I had so many things in front of me. It was definitely a cool concept.
But it's going to take a couple times to write it.
Probably to get it down, but I also wish they just didn't have as many characters on it.
Yeah.
So overall,
like 4 characters would be plenty.
On each team.
Or like 8.
Yeah, it was just a lot of both teams, so that was the hard part. I wish you just didn't see all your other characters and you only saw them, but then that kind of takes away the point of them being like a barrier.
Kind of like if they would have actually legit done it like Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So that was definitely... Overall, park is amazing. I definitely think it's going to be worth it. It's so cool. Do I say that we need to be there opening week? No.
Oh, because we're not going to be able to, like...
Even if I didn't go to the preview, I still wouldn't be like, I need to be there opening week. But I am excited to go back and explore this park more.
Oh, yeah.
The cast member we were with, he had never seen it at night because it's one of the first night previews. So that was really exciting to, like, see something that he hasn't as well. Because he's barely been there so many times. Because that's how they did it. And it's literally every cast member who works for Universal, the hotels, islands, Volcano Bay, Epic, all of them get those free previews, which is exciting, which is why we see so many people at the park.
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed the Monsters ride was down, but other than that, it was just, it definitely was worth seeing. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a really cool park, but the thing that creeps me out the most is like technology.
That's crazy advanced.
But I feel like what I saw, I'm like, I didn't even know this type of technology existed.
Oh, I mean, I can only imagine what you saw. I only can imagine what they're going to put into the new parks that they're going to be doing. Especially with Disney. I wonder what Disney's going to take over from it.
Well, it makes me really excited because what kind of like animatronics and animation or CGI I saw with this, it makes me really excited for the Villains Park.
I feel like they took from like Avatar. And it's like, this is our base.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna make Avatar and steroids as well.
Yeah, and then Universal's like, okay, I'm gonna one up you with this one.
Hold my Velociraptor.
And now Disney's like, hold on, hold my villain.
You want to see a dragon?
Yeah,
we have dragons.
Oh my god, the transformation though?
I've seen Maleficent turn into if they don't do some kind of like CGI amazing of like that
Hades
in the Villains Park, yes.
If you don't do Hades right, I'm done.
Seeing the animatronics from Frankenstein the monsters, and seeing the animation from Ministry.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see what they're going to do with any of the characters from Disney. Especially if we get Mike and Sully in that kind of way too with monsters. We should get Mike and Sully because we're getting the doors. Exactly. So I'm curious of like what that concept's going to be because it makes me feel like I'm so behind in what actually is technology and not.
I can't wait.
Like I think a phone's a cool invention.
Oh yeah.
Just like nope, these things look real.
Oh yeah, because they can communicate with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there.
No, it's terrifying. Which makes you think of like all the CGI effects. Like you have a show like the show finale that you were wanting to talk about this week.
Yeah.
How they do effects in certain like movies and now we're seeing it in physical aspects.
Oh yeah.
It's insane.
Oh, it's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's nuts. I love the way people's brains work and what we just choose to focus on instead of real problems.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Let's go see animatronics when the world's blowing up. It's fine.
Oh yeah, but I'm glad that you had a good time at Epic. We'll go there eventually.
Yes.
When they open up Villains, we'll have a good opportunity to go over there and finally get some peace.
Yeah.
Maybe wait for like a holiday that no one goes to.
Yeah, I definitely think that
Christmas
it's definitely
at Universal.
worth waiting a bit to go back and make sure test runs they're doing now, but the fact that there was half the ride, 3/4 of the rides were down a month before it actually opens, I'm like, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Totally fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that's nuts. A month before they open and they have rides still down.
There was only like 2 rides open at a time the entire
and
day.
the wait times for a preview day, that's nuts.
135 for the one time frame that Monsters was open.
That's nuts.
Mm-hmm. And it was only supposed to be like a 1/4 of capacity.
Good luck, Universal. I hope you do wonders. I know you will because you're going to make money no matter what, and you'll make back the money in 5 weeks?
They said 5 years. I think
5 years.
Make back, which is insane to think about. Which I totally agree. I definitely would be one to eventually spend my money there, but it was also crazy.
All of it. It's going.
There's so much.
Oh yeah. But moving on a little bit. This week we kind of had a cool season finale. I'm not going to do any kind of spoilers for it because I really don't want to because I know you don't.
They all
die. They all die. They all died. Daredevil season finale.
He went blind.
He did go blind. Actually, no, fun fact, he saw.
For the first time in forever.
Yeah, well, one scene, it's not a spoiler, but he, like, taps on a box. He goes, I packed this box. I'm like, bitch, how do you know?
He can see the future. Plot twist.
Because you ding ding, and you can hear the sounds of the items in there. Oh, hold on, folks. Maybe.
This is a Furby.
Yeah. But I don't know. It was really cool. I feel like the beginning part of the season and the ending part of the season, like the first 4 and like the ending 5 or how many episodes there were done by 2 different directors at least.
Which is crazy to think because I think it was all done by the same person, wasn't it?
I have no idea. I had to Google it because it confuses me. They brought in a character that is great in the comics, but nothing like the comics, and it confused me. First couple episodes, and then immediately gone. Okay.
Eradicated.
And then, we finally get into the plot. We finally get into the good stuff. We get one other character. And I don't know if I'm missing spoilers or Easter eggs, I mean. I don't know what what did I miss? Because only one person was brought in. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
I wonder if it's a setup for, like, others to come in later because they're going to continue.
So. It has to, but, like, the city, something happens, and I'm like, where is everybody else? You're in New York City. I know there's groups out there, and I know there's other people that's here. Where's our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
It just disappeared. It just freaking disappeared.
Yes, it's what happened. I mean, how can you have something so pivotal happen in the city, and it's, like, mass chaos, criminals are taking over, and all superheroes are like, I'm on vacation, sorry, guys.
Because it's exactly how Marvel does it. It's the same with the Thunderbolts. They're like, no, the Avengers are gone. The Avengers are dead. No one's coming back for them, and we have the Thunderbolts as the option.
Yeah, and it's the X-Men. It's the X-Men's school.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Is there not a single person here besides you 3?
Closest door. Yeah, like, that's my only complaint about it. But I loved how Daredevil ended. I love how Kingpin ended up. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited to see. I love the actors. Charlie Cox is fantastic as Daredevil.
He's my favorite Daredevil
so yeah.
far.
And then I can never pronounce his name because it's complicated. But the guy who plays Kingpin,
I can never remember anybody's name. So
I love him. You were the shit.
I loved him in Hawkeye. I love him in Daredevil. I love him in everything that he has done. So
I was at least hoping to see Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Something, but nothing.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're our last hope. Is it only hope? You're my only hope?
I don't know, but we can dive into something else if you want to go that route.
About being hopeless?
No, about misconstruing.
Oh.
We already know you're hopeless.
Ouch. Leia is my best friend.
R2-D2.
That was kind of scarily perfect to the sound.
Thank you.
Fine, we'll get into our conspiracy theories.
We don't have to. We can talk about Daredevil, but you haven't watched it yet because you are a binge watcher.
I'm a binger. I have to wait, and now we're at the season finale, so now I can binge it. And
finally! So okay, I can finally talk to you about it.
My friend just finished Onyx Storm 2 days ago.
That also got me in my jimmies. I'm like, how did you just... Speaking of Onyx Storm, Onyx is my favorite character.
And what?
Quicksilver.
Oh, yes, I forgot about Onyx. Yes, later discussion.
Yes, that's a book talk for you.
So back to the whole technology thing.
Oh, yeah. We're going to go conspiracy theory
There's
time.
A theory that I know of that I essentially know, I think I've heard is like the Toy Story effect.
Ooh.
Okay. It's the effect, it's the thing. Ooh. We're fine. It's the knowledge of what if, as a kid, you just don't remember this, but what if as a kid, your toys were actually alive?
That's why they're possessed?
Yes.
That's why we get creepy dolls?
Or, why you became so hyper-focused on, one doll.
Yeah, that can make total sense because that's your best friend.
Exactly. So there's, a thing that was, as you grow, it's, the whole thing is, the whole concept of, never wanting to grow up thing.
Yeah.
What if Toy Story was correct and that toys do come alive, but the thing is, we knew it. And that's how they always described it as, how kids' imaginations are so big and broad. Yeah. And that this is why that's a thing. Or when you think of Annabelle, how she was possessed. Other people say that kids' souls go into toys who don't make it.
Terrifying, but yes.
It's a very terrifying concept. And that's why as an adult, your parents don't see it because they play dead when a parent comes in. And then you're just or when you were a kid and you felt like you're being watched.
Yeah.
All of the concepts that you knew and those feelings you had as a kid but can't quite remember, or you think about it and it disappears.
Yeah.
It's because that concept of that part of your brain's gone.
That's crazy to think about.
It's a terrifying thought.
That's crazy to think about. That's crazy because like I know I had like one toy that was it was a bear. Mm-hmm. It was my go-to. That was my thing.
Yeah. Well, my mom made me think my Cabbage Patch doll grew a tooth.
Yeah, that
and then mutilated one stayed in her closet. What if that thing came and haunted me all night? That's why I had nightmares.
It's probably why you did.
I hope I hope it gave her nightmares.
I was gonna say it's post-fire, but I was gonna say
well, now it's officially obliterated, so that's all those toys are gone.
Actually, no, that's why it happened.
The house is haunted by toys now. But that's a weird concept. Like, can you imagine, like, as a kid, you had so much fun with all these toys, and you had like, I was a kid who put all my toys on my bed, and I slept on the floor.
What if the possessed toys, the haunted toys, are the ones that the kids promised to play with them, and they didn't, and that's what they come back to, like, sucked into the toy?
Well, you have, like, Lotso from Toy Story, who, like, got
smelled like strawberries?
Yeah, but got abandoned by his kids, so he turned into an evil toy. Like, what
if with this creepy baby doll?
What if that's why we made those the villains in our, like, when we grew up? Like, I had good and bad guys, and I would steal Christopher's and use his Ninja Turtles and Power Ranger stuff that I always get in trouble for stealing because I was never allowed to have them. Not having post things or that, but like, can you imagine? That's why we chose these things. Trauma. Very big age difference there too for trauma, but like that's a weird concept, which makes you wonder like what things as a kid happened that we just don't remember.
I know, because I'm like thinking back. I'm like, do you know how many like memories? How many days are just? I
can't.
They're gone.
Yeah, I don't.
Something happens, but I have no idea.
I don't remember what day yesterday was. Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I don't know, but that's the thing. It's like. I don't remember yesterday, so I can only imagine half the things that happened to me as a kid.
Oh, man.
That, like, just disappeared.
I actually brought food today, and I forgot it in the fridge. Thanks for reminding me. We forget all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I think that is a great theory. I think that's something super creepy, and something that's totally possible. It's weird.
Or, like, you think of certain toy makes you think of a certain person, and that's whose person's soul's in it. Hi, Grandma.
Lights on fire.
Anyways, what's yours?
We're not evil in any means necessary here. So on the way over here, I was actually I was talking to my mom because, you know. Mother.
Shout out to Madre.
You know who you is?
Murder.
She was my murder.
She would appreciate that joke.
She would. She would appreciate it. She'll see it.
What did y'all discuss?
The Mandela effect.
The Mandolo.
The Mandolo, the Minerva, someone would say, the Minerva effect over here.
That's how I heard it earlier.
So we were talking about it because it's super nuts. She believes that people are changing things. Mm-hmm. So it thinks, she swears up and down that it's not like groups of people or two different groups of people that think something happened in a certain way. Like
when you think of like how you say a certain word, like I say pecan and
I say pecan.
Like those kind of things, that's how you were growing up learning that.
Yeah. She swears they change them.
This one's with certain, like, objects, though, isn't it?
Yeah, so, like...
what y'all were talking about?
For, like, instance, biggest one is the Bernstein Bears. It's not the Bernstein, it's the Bernstein Bears. So it's it's A-I-N instead of E-I-N. Yeah. That's a big one.
What?
I always remembered it being the Bernstein. Like, even, like, the show, it's the Bernstein Bears.
Yeah.
No, it's the Bernstein.
Why is it a stain? Is it a stain on society?
I guess so. I mean, I think about, like, you know, who created it and the things that he normally talked about in his books.
Who created it?
Wasn't that the Seuss man?
Was it Dr. Seuss?
Was it Dr. Seuss? I don't know. You can Google it because I have no idea.
When did this come out?
I think so. It's dark and twisted and it's messed up, so I'm guessing it's that man.
That's true, because it was like Papa, Mama, and Little One, or whatever the creepy names for it were.
It's a small one. Small bear, I think. Yeah. Sugar Bear.
Well, now that makes me question my entire life. What's another one?
So,
it is Bernstein. What is this nonsense?
Did I have the spelling right? The A-I-N?
Yeah, S-T-A-N. Yes. But it's B-E-R-E-N-S-T-A-I-N.
Yep. I always thought it was E-I-N.
So the first book came out in 1962, and it was Dr. Seuss. What? How many? There's 117 of those books.
Jesus Christ.
I thought there was like 5.
I knew there was a lot, but
I knew there was a TV show.
Because those are the ones with the filigree gold bindings.
They had like the cool bindings.
Yeah, and they're like 4 pages per book.
How old is Mom? Apparently Mama Bear is 27 years old.
And she wears a bonnet?
In the 60s, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I feel like a bonnet and a muumuu wouldn't be that bad of an option.
I wear muumuus every night.
Exactly.
Mine have pockets.
I can't judge them. Okay, so what's another one?
Okay, so Monopoly guy. The Monopoly guy never had a monocle. He's never had any kind of eyewear, friends.
But he had a chain, didn't he?
Mm-mm. Nope. So it was commonly misconceived or misconstrued because of Ace Ventura. When he did the with the guy, he had the monocle. That's what everybody thought the monocle was from.
You know what other character had the monocle that shouldn't have the monocle but did was the freaking Peanut dude?
Yeah.
But he has the monocle. Why does the Monopoly guy get a monocle?
I thought the Monopoly guy always had a monocle, but he's never had one.
I guess it makes me think of like, I guess it would count as like how two different places like interpret things too, because like there's that TikTok show. I guess it's a normal like YouTube show, but it's where the two different people who are in shows together or in a movie, and they have like one's like British and one's American, and
they do like the culture shock.
The two different foods. Like the new movie, the war movie with the 5-6 guys or whatever. That's when the cast is hysterical.
It's a loaded cast.
In any of their interviews, they're just pure chaos.
That's exactly all of those men are.
Exactly. And so like the two, Will Poulter and then the other guy from Riverdale did the food tasting thing, and of course Will's British and the other guy's not. He's American. And so they did two different concepts. And
he's American.
But like when we think of tea, we think of like sweet tea, especially in the South. When they think of tea, it's like British tea, like your breakfast.
Warm in a cup.
Yes, and so that was the funny thing is like the British tea was in a nice teapot and a cup, and the other one was a Arizona gallon jug covered by a thing.
You can put your mug on the stovetop
and warm it up.
Yeah,
because people, there's an entire like thread on what's the thing where you get threads of people responding? What site is that?
It's not the Twitter
Reddit?
anymore, right? Oh, it's Reddit. Reddit.
There's an entire thread that someone did. It was like, how do you microwave? You don't microwave it. You don't put it.
Oh, people microwave their. Yeah, that's weird.
But there was a whole entire. Or it was like, did you know that? Oh, it was this. It was tea. Ironically, it's like, did you know that if you put your tea in boiling water, it'll taste better? And someone's like, you were putting it in cold water, and then someone's like, what? I was like, I don't have time to boil things. Like, you put it on the saucepan, and it's like a minute, and I'm like, what saucepan stove do you have that does it in a minute to boil? It was like a whole entire nonsense thread. But it was the same concept. It was like, who has never been taught to boil tea?
I have no idea. Lazy people?
But like boiling tea leaves makes so much sense. You get a flavor to see.
Well, I mean, I can see people doing like just normal water and just waiting.
But is that part of the Mandela effect where like I say I didn't know how to boil tea, but you knew to boil tea?
So no, Mandela.
It's just like the visual.
It's more of just like it's an event that happened.
Oh,
it's an event that happened. So like people thought. So Nelson Mandela. People thought this is why it's called Mandela effect. Mm-hmm. It's because Nelson Mandela actually people thought he died in like 1980, and lo and behold, he died in 2013, and people vividly remember him dying in 1980.
So it's like Picasso.
Yes.
Who, the painter and artist, everyone
thought that he was like...
Back with like Da Vinci times.
Yeah.
He died in like the 60s or something.
Yeah.
I actually don't realize either that he died in 2013.
Nelson Mandela?
I thought he died in the 2000s, but I didn't realize that late in the 2000s. Yeah. I thought he was like 90s to 2000s. Mm-hmm. People do that with Michael Jackson. People think that he died at a different time frame than like, so there was a trivia question one time where it's like, name these events in order.
Yeah.
And it was like, people thought that Michael Jackson died in like 2001 and he was like 2009, like 2010, same time frame.
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing that people realize or don't realize either, because you think of like
2001 was when he was holding blanket over the freaking railing.
Exactly. So like that, and people remember certain times of like Michael Jackson's life. Because then you have like painters like Bob Ross who like died in like the 90s, which I didn't know until recently either.
I thought he died in the 2000s.
I did too, because I remember growing up when I was old enough to remember watching his show. And
art class all the time.
And when I found out that he was already dead, I was like, but he seems so nice. He shouldn't be dead. But it's those concepts of trying to remember things, but it's also like I think of it. I feel like it can cover like how people interpret things and all those like different ideas.
I can see you're like it's. I can see like similar concept. It is a similar concept, but this one's like strictly events and stuff like that.
Monopoly guy in my brain will always have a monocle.
For sure.
He seems classy.
Oh yeah.
Pinky up type.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I think that was
as he sends you to jail.
Don't collect $200. Do not pass go.
Straight to jail.
Jail.
All these people need to go to jail.
Jail.
No, that is definitely, it's a crazy thing because it also makes you think of how much of your recall thing is. And if it's like memory recall is one of my weakest things. So it's just like, what else do I not remember in my life?
Oh, my memory recall is terrible.
The biggest thing is like usually what with logos, like how people like sell things or what they think it is. It's completely different.
Oh yeah, I love those things. It's so much fun.
I love being tortured. It's a nice way of putting what I could really say.
Trivia.
I second guess. I know it, and then I'll be like, I'm probably wrong, and then I'm right. I'm like, dang it.
Except for Disney.
Sometimes I still question myself on that too. I'm not great with dates.
No, I had a couple good ones though.
I am not great with dates. I'm just like, I'm sure that came out then. It came out like 2 years ago, and I think, I was 25.
It's Corona.
It was last year.
It's Corona.
The Kingdom of Tangled. That one made me mad because I remember there was an entire controversy over the Kingdom of Corona during coronavirus.
Yep.
It's like,
he did it.
There was literally an entire meme generation on this from the coronavirus alone. I could not remember.
I know. I thought it started with a G. I thought it was like Guinness or something.
That's a beer.
I know.
That's a man.
That's a man. All right, folks.
With that, thank you so much for joining us. We hope to entice you with more theories later on.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.